Hello, so let's have a look at the fourth section of this exam paper. So this section is on intervals and triads. So in this section we have two questions on intervals and then we have a question on triads. So just when we're doing intervals, I find this is an easy one to lose marks on. So I'm going to do two things to prepare for this one, just in terms of scribbling on my paper. Firstly, if I had this question, I'd write out at the top the numbers 1 to 12, or 1 to 11 rather, because that's going to make our life a whole lot easier. And this will definitely be worth doing. And 11. There we go. Then underneath it, I'm going to write out the sequence of minor thirds and major thirds that is based on semitones. This will make a bit more sense in a sec. And the sequence is 2-2, 3-3. In the middle bit we have 4-T5, as in 4-T5. Then we go 6-6, 7, 7. And when we have double numbers just in front of the first one of each set, I'm just going to put a little minus sign to remind myself that these are minor. And what this is if we go up one semitone, that's going to be a minor second. If we went up 2 semitones, that's going to be a major second. If we went up 5 semitones, we'd know that that's a fourth. So I'm also going to scribble down something that should help. I'm going to draw, very roughly, a piano keyboard. If you're a piano player or know how to play the piano, this is always a good method of counting out the intervals. And even if you're not a piano player, I'd recommend learning the basics of the keyboard, just so you can kind of have this visual representation of all the notes. And let's add in some reference points with the sharps and flats. Leading to C back up here. I'm just going to write C here and C here. Lovely. So this is all the preparation I would scribble on the top of the paper for this one. I think it would be a bit quicker if I wasn't writing with a mouse pad. So let's have a look at each of these questions. So question 4A is they give us the notation for an interval and we have to work out what that interval is. And I like to tackle this in 2 steps. I like to do the second part first and then the first part. So I like to do the interval first, and that's a simple case of counting up the number. So if we start here, this is the note C because it's in bass clef. We go C, D, E, F, G, A. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to be a sixth of some description. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a fourth of some description. And we have, well, it's the same again, but we have a sharp, but that doesn't matter at the moment because we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So fourth. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a fifth of some description. There we go, and that's half marks for all of these so far. But the main thing we need now is the bit on the front. We need to know the quality. Is it a major sixth, or a minor sixth, or an augmented or diminished sixth? So let's work these out. We'll do, let's do this one first because it's quite easy to work out. Some chords you might just be able to look at and instantly recognize if it's part of the scale. So this is part of the D major scale. So if you start on the tonic and go up, you can already work out that there's probably going to be perfect, but let's work it out the old-fashioned way. So if we started on the note D, so we're going to go up one semitone, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's up 5, which would give us this G. If we have a look here, 5 is a fourth, and when we have a fourth, it is perfect. So that landed perfectly on the 4. Ooh, I might run out of space on some of the longer ones of these, so I might have to put a shorthand in. Although I'd recommend you always write out the full word, perfect, minor, diminished, whatever it may be. I might have to make shorthands just for this video lecture. So let's have a look at this one. It's going to be very similar, and we know it's a fourth because we can count the gap between the notes. But it's probably not going to be a perfect fourth. Let's count it out anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 would normally be a tritone. So if it's above the perfect fourth, then we know this is going to be augmented. I'm just going to write AUG, although I'd recommend in your exam paper, write it a bit smaller and write in augmented. Let's have a look at this one. So we start on the note C. We need to remember we need to check our clefs, by the way, because sometimes these get in the get us muddled up, and we also need to check the key signature because sometimes these affect the notes we have. So we have the notes C and A, but if we look in the key signature we have A flat, so this is actually A flat we need to worry about. I'm just going to make a quick note about that so I don't forget. So starting on the note C, we're going to count up the interval to A flat, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is 8? That is a minor sixth. So we've got, because it's got that little minor symbol next to it. So I'm going to put minor. Sixth. Lovely. Let's do this last one. So we have a fifth of some description. Let's count it up. So we're going from A up to E flat. Yes, I'm getting my clefs confused now. So this will actually be slightly difficult to do with our without looping. So I will do a quick loop halfway through. So let's start off on the note A. So go A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6, which is a tritone, and we know it's should be 7, so it's one lower, so that is a diminished one. I'll just write dim, although I recommend in your paper you write out the full word diminished. There we go, so that's the first set of interval questions. The next set of interval questions asks us kind of the other way round, where we were given the notation here and we're asked to write out what the interval is. This time we're given the interval name and we have to fill out the notation. So we can work this out one of two ways. Let's just get the notes on paper first. So we can work out that if this is an E, then we can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want a C of some description. And because for these questions they've given us a semi-breve, I'm also going to use the semi-breve. So that's the sixth part of it nailed. Let's do a major third. That's easy. That's 1, 2, 3. That's the third. So that just stacks on top. And then we have the major seventh. Just for shorthand, I'm going to go down. So what would that be? That would be G. So I'm going to have a G up here. Lovely. So that is half the marks. Now we just need to add on the any changes we might need to make. So let's just check these. Starting on the note E, we need to go up a minor sixth. So let's check our reference. If we want to go up 6, then that is going to be to a minor 6, sorry, that is 8 semitones. So let's count that out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is C natural. So we can leave that as it is because that is C natural down here. Let's do this next one. So we've got an E flat here, because remember we need to check our clefs and our key signature. So E flat going up to G at the moment. Let's check if that's right. So major third, what is that going to be? We want a major third that is 4 semitones. So let's have a count from E flat. We go 1, so E flat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, oh hang on 1 second. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, so that is G natural, so we don't need to add anything in front of that. That is a major third. And then let's do this last one. So we have A up to G flat. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking. Oh no, we have A flat up to G natural at the moment. So let's work out that. So what do we need? We need a major 7th that is here. So that is going to be 11 semitones. So one just way of doing this is we could go down from the 12. So let's just go down 1 note from A flat. So if we had A flat, go down 1 semitone, and that would give us a G natural. So yeah, that's right. These 3 answers are all natural. So we can leave them as it is. Lovely. Let's move on to this one. So this is not an interval one. This is a type of triad question, and there are 4 types of triads: major, minor, diminished, and augmented. So just as a quick reminder, a major triad is a major third up followed by a minor third up. A minor triad is a minor third followed by a major third. I didn't make that very clear. Followed by a major third. A diminished is 2 minor triads, 2 minor thirds stuck on top of each other. And an augmented is 2 major triads stuck on top of each other. Lovely. So let's work out what these are. So I'm going to write out the notes as well. So we have F, A flat, and C. In this one we have the notes G, B, D sharp, and here we have the notes E, G, and B flat. And you could work out the interval between all of these notes using the piano up here and our list of semitones and what they relate to as intervals. But I'm going to work this out another way. I like to work out what it would be if they were all natural and then see what the difference is. So for example, if this chord here was F, A, C, so A natural, I know from memory that that would be a F major chord. So what's changed? They've lowered the third. If you lower the third of a major chord, that gives you the minor chord. So this is going to be a minor chord. It's F minor. Note that I don't write F minor, I just write minor, because that is what the question is asking us for. It's not asking us what the name of the triad is, it's asking us what type of triad it is. So don't write F minor, just write minor. So let's have a look at this one. So we could work out the intervals, so work out that up to G to D is a major third, and then D to... Oh no, No, it's B, isn't it? Yes, of course. Oh, clefs. So yeah, simple mistakes. Don't do what I just did. So G up to B, that's the major third, and then B up to D sharp, that's the major third. But Another way of doing it is just looking at this chord. If they were all natural GBD from memory, I can say that would be a G major chord. So by raising the fifth that they've done here with the D sharp, then that would be a augmented chord. That could have lost me marks right there. And then we have our final one. So I know that the E triad, if it was all natural, E, G, B, would be an E minor chord. So what's happened here? We've got the flat 5. So what does that mean? That probably means we have a diminished triad. Again, I'm writing this really big. I would recommend you write out the full word diminished or augmented. I'm just running a bit low on space. But that is section 4 done. Now, I would say it's worth scribbling these out because the interval questions I tend to slip up on occasionally, and it's definitely worth kind of working them out, different methods. I would recommend you have different methods for approaching each one. Like for the triads, I have the triad in its natural state comparison method, and I can count out the intervals if needed. I would say probably the triads are a lot easier questions than the intervals, but half of it's going to be very easy because it's just counting up the distance between the actual notation. It's just working out whether it's major or minor or perfect or augmented or diminished. That is a hard bit. So let's leave section 4 now and let's go on to section 5.